you real quick on what the bill would actually do, and I want to talk to you a little bit about how Democrat politicians in California could end up getting indicted and charged with both criminal or civil suits. But I also have, again, a more important task for you, not just to educate yourself, but to get involved in the fight. So let me really quickly give you a few minutes primer on what's in the Trump-proof bill so you can explain it to your friends, and what our hostile amendments will do next week if they bring the bill back. On the floor today, Democrats brought up two bills. One bill was for $25 million, and it would hire lawyers to allow the Attorney General, Rob Bonta, to sue the Trump administration on every single policy. We're not just talking about illegal immigration. We're talking about sue them to allow politicians to ban your gas stove. Yeah, natural gas appliances would be banned by California. Trump is trying to stop that because, I don't know, he actually thinks that you should be able to choose the appliance that's in your home. And he knows that it's not good for the environment to ban these devices. We don't have the energy to replace the gas. But you know that $25 million fund is not just about illegal immigration. It's about all the crazy policies that California politicians have and that Trump is trying to stop by holding these politicians accountable. So $25 million will be for lawsuits against Trump, but also there is a line in that bill that allows for legal funds to be provided in the defense of state officials. In other words, you guessed it, the politicians. And why is this so important? This is important because we had America First Legal send a letter in late December across the state of California to local elected officials. So this is the one that was sent to San Diego County, the county I represent, the 75th District in the State Assembly. And it basically says, look, federal law is clear. Illegal immigrants unlawfully present in the United States are subject to removal from the country, and it is a crime to conceal, harbor, or shield them. It goes on to say that elected officials and sworn law enforcement officials, unfortunately, who follow the state's sanctuary state policy and try to impede federal law enforcement could be charged with aiding and abetting. And that state and local officials under federal law are compelled to cooperate with federal law enforcement agents, either that or they're obstructing justice. More importantly, there's another provision that's laid out in the letter, and this is more, I think, a direct attack on the elected officials, and that is the RICO statutes. RICO statutes can be used to trigger liability against a politician or a government official whose negligence causes harm to someone else. It says here, and this is on page 5 of the letter, and by the way, I have a full copy of the America First legal letter. You should really read it. It really lays out why California is completely wrong with the sanctuary state law, why these local officials are literally breaking the law to shield criminals, and the risk it brings legally to taxpayers. Because, you know, what these politicians are going to do is they're going to say, if I'm sued either civilly or criminally by the federal government, civilly by outside groups, the taxpayers will have to pay for my lawyers. No, you're on your own. You break the law, you pay for your lawyer. And you know what? If we take away the legal shield, the indemnification, if you will, of these state and local politicians from legal action against them and force them to run the risk of having to hire their own lawyers, it really causes them to rethink what they're about to do, because they know they're not right on the law. They know that this is all politics, and that, you know, hey, if I get, prosecuted, or if someone brings legal action against me, at least I've got a taxpayer-funded lawyer, and I'll drag it out until Trump's out of office, and then some wingnut Democrat comes in and drops the charges against me. That's what they're thinking. We need to put a little bit more risk on the table to them, and that is why we cut off the legal funds. But RICO statutes basically allow any person injured in his business or property by reason of a violation of law shall recover threefold the damages he sustains and the cost of the suit. So basically, if someone, an illegal immigrant, kills your daughter, or if an illegal immigrant steals from your company or steals from your home, you could say, these are the damages I incurred, and I want to hold whoever allowed that person here to remain in our state, whoever facilitated their release back on the street when they could have deported them. I want to go after them for negligence because their release was reckless and I've suffered the damage. Well, that does it for us on this episode.